Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, there's I always say I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is.
Yes.
But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very easy but I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing. We'll see.
Canelo has hinted that he already understands Crawford's techniques and fighting style, displaying confidence in his preparation. With a smile, he added that Turki Alalshik will be very upset on fight night, since he will be standing in Crawford's corner, making the showdown not only more intense, but also deeply personal.
You're going to be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's going to be very difficult. He's going to be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
Canelo's decision to bring in Jaron Ennis for sparring is being regarded as a very smart and strategic move. According to Johnny Ortiz, Ennis is the closest match to Terence Crawford's body type and fighting style, making him the ideal training partner. This gives Canelo the opportunity to study Crawford's rhythm, movement, and physical advantages in real time while sharpening his own timing and defense. At the same time, Ennis benefits greatly by gaining invaluable experience from working with a veteran like Canelo, which contributes to his own growth as a fighter. Ortiz sees this as a rare win-win situation where both boxers improve, making the arrangement highly strategic.
Makes sense, and it's definitely a good experience for both. Eddie Reynoso and Canelo, shout out to them because now it shows that they serious with a real game plan, and Boots is, to me, everybody's a perfect opponent. I wouldn't say opponent, perfect sparring partner to have to replicate Crawford because they both switch hitters and stuff like that, and they got dog in them and reflexes for sure. So it shows Canelo serious, and on Boots' end, to be able to spar a Hall of Famer, top tier guy, it gave him great experience, and you could tell he really wants it. It's a sport where Boots is getting an opportunity to spar a Hall of Famer. Who cares? And in reality, what the fuck loyalty does Boots owe to Crawford when it comes to the sport of boxing? I mean, Crawford didn't do shit even back while Boots was trying to get his opportunity when it was Spence and Crawford. Every time Boots' name got mentioned, you heard the Bud Clowns be like, oh yeah, he don't deserve it. Oh, who did he fight? Oh, who this and that, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. It's like it's different shit that you need to be woke up outside of boxing. Boxing is a sport. There's shit that we need to really come together. I didn't see y'all come together like 5 years. The Bud Clowns, because it's real fans, the Bud Clowns is bashing PBC. Everything Boots, when you bring up Boots' name, putting him down, I didn't hear like, oh yeah, instead of fighting Canelo or fighting this person, he should fight Boots.
Jose Benavidez stressed the value of Canelo Alvarez choosing Jaron Boots Ennis as a sparring partner, noting that Ennis mirrors Crawford's physique, movement, and style. He explained that this preparation allows Canelo to mentally adjust for fight night, while also pointing out that Crawford's smaller size could work against him. For Benavidez, training with a strong, stylistically similar partner not only boosts Canelo's confidence, but also makes him feel he already holds the advantage before the first bell.
To give Canelo maybe a little bit more confidence that he is sparring somebody really good, and is a really good fighter, and I think that would be a good motivation, for Canelo Alvarez. I just think that Crawford is too small for Canelo. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford, but in my opinion, I think if Crawford could maybe just tap, hook, get out, maybe once in a while throw a straight punch and just win by points and use his legs, I think I see him winning by decision. But if he tries to exchange with Canelo Alvarez, I think he's going to make a mistake and he's going to get hit with one shot and maybe he can get hurt and that would change the whole fight, But I think he's faster. Crawford is faster and a straight punch, get out, Don't stay there to throw or try to trade with Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, fair to say. Fair to say. Now, do you feel like when it comes down to the demeanor of making that decision of bringing him in, does it show that he's taking this camp perhaps a little bit more serious than others? I mean, what do you think about just the move per se?
You know, it's very difficult to say. He's never brought anybody really good to his camp until this time. Uh, Maybe he's lacking enough of confidence, or maybe he just wants to use them to trick the people. Or, I mean, it's very awkward and very funny that he brought Ennis to his camp. You know, so but at the end of the day, they know what they're doing. You know, and we got to respect that. And I think.
The global demand for boxing has entered a new era, with streaming services now setting records for live events. The Netflix showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson drew an astonishing 65 million viewers, making it the most watched fight in history. That event proved the appetite for combat sports is far greater than traditional expectations. Now, the upcoming clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford carries the potential to surpass that milestone. This bout isn't just about two fighters meeting in the ring. It's about history being made on a global scale, as fans across continents eagerly wait to see if it can generate even more excitement and engagement than the Jake versus Mike spectacle.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, which was obviously on Netflix as well, the biggest concurrent view was, I think, 65 million. So at one stage of a time, 65 million people were watching that fight, which is crazy, hence why it broke Netflix servers. I do wonder what this does. I think it does around 10 to 15, which is still an incredible number. The problem with these two, and I was saying this morning actually to Gareth A. Davis, like, there's no antagonizer here, is there? No one is willing to play the role of the bad guy, the heel, the bully. And you almost need that a little bit. Like Jake Paul was actually quite smart in the way in which he promoted the Tyson fight. Obviously, look, it's Mike Tyson, but it was promoted so well where Jake was willing to be the guy that, I'm going to fuck up the greatest fighter of all time. You know, he was willing to kind of say all those things and play that role. So people almost tuned in to see him get chinned as well. Neither of these guys are playing that role. Neither of these guys, I don't think, have crossed over massively to non-boxing fans. I mean, to us, they're like gods, but to non-boxing fans, I do wonder how much people...
Terence Crawford has never been one to shy away from challenges, and his preparation for facing Canelo highlights his calculated approach to strategy. He openly acknowledges the difficulties of fighting larger opponents, but insists there are effective ways to counter them. One key tactic, according to Crawford, is forcing bigger fighters to move backward, something they're often uncomfortable with, since their size and strength usually allow them to dictate the pace when moving forward.
It's two things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back, you know, so it kind of fucks them up in the head, you know. Yeah. Or you can just box them because some of them just slower than others because they got flat feet, and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's two ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your superior skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach because he's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. You know, Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely...
Crawford believes the key to beating bigger fighters is breaking their rhythm by forcing them backward and draining their stamina, exposing the flat-footedness common in heavier opponents. His approach reflects a high boxing IQ, focusing not just on toughness, but on turning disadvantages into strengths. With training centered on conditioning and tactical precision, he is preparing for the biggest challenge of his career.
Struggled to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the Skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. And his form of countering, you know, a pull counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back. And he can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. if Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree Crawford does have the superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back or the defense of someone like Mayweather stay perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make the difference in this fight. And that's why I like Canelo.
While much of the buildup has centered on rivalry, Terence Crawford has expressed genuine admiration for Canelo Alvarez's place in boxing history. He openly respects Canelo as one of the last representatives of a golden era, having fought and shared the stage with legends, a rare experience Crawford acknowledges. For him, facing Canelo is not just about belts or records, but about testing himself against someone who has carried the torch of boxing greatness. By framing the fight this way, Crawford adds depth and meaning to the storyline.
I called Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and you know, the Kovalevs and Triple Gs, and I wasn't able to get those mega fights, you know, so this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight an all-time great like Canelo.
Sean Porter offers a contrasting perspective, suggesting that Canelo won't present anything Crawford hasn't already faced. In his view, Crawford's career has exposed him to every kind of opponent, speedsters, heavy punchers, counterpunchers, and even larger fighters, and it is his adaptability that makes him exceptional. Porter believes Crawford's versatile skill set is more than capable of handling whatever Canelo brings, even with the Mexican star's size and power. For fans, his insight adds balance to the ongoing debate.
Alvarez. Terence is not going to see anything that he hasn't seen before. No, he hasn't seen this beast on fight night, but he's seen versions of this beast for a very, very, very long time. People have said that he's a blown-up 147-pound fighter. If you remember, he said it was hard for him to make 147 when he fought Errol Spence Jr. I was like, yo, how is that possible? I didn't realize like he was really doing everything that's needed to gain the weight properly. Most fighters don't know how to gain weight.
Antonio Tarver warns that while Crawford may be more active and technically skilled, Canelo's power is the ultimate equalizer. One clean punch could change everything, and against a puncher like Canelo, even a single mistake could end the fight instantly. For Tarver, Crawford must be flawless in execution every second of every round.
And Canelo only need one punch. You know what I mean? That really, basically, that's what it boils down to. I think Canelo only need one shot to change the game or change the fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. He's gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision. I never won a close decision. That's what's looming. I think if Crawford is gonna guarantee victory, he gotta stop him.
A man who ain't been stopped.
He got to stop him, bro.
Yes, challenge.
So that's going to be the challenge. So I like Bud. I've always loved Bud, bro. But he in for a hell of a fight. If Saul show up, it's going to be...
Andre Rozier emphasized the importance of Canelo's choice to spar with Jaron Ennis, calling it proof of how seriously he is preparing. To Rozier, bringing in such a high-level fighter shows respect for Crawford's skills and makes clear that Canelo is not overlooking the challenge. By surrounding himself with sparring partners who can replicate Crawford's style, Canelo demonstrates the adaptability and dedication that have kept him a champion for so long. Rozier believes this level of preparation ensures fans will see the best version of both fighters, with neither man leaving anything to chance.
To get ready for Crawford?
I would think it would be because he's ambidextrous, as is Crawford, so it can do nothing but help him. And he has Yolanda Hernandez also helping, another fighter who is ambidextrous, so it helps. And we just want to see him do what he has to do, because this is a great fight.
Who were you initially taking? Is it Crawford, or who were you initially taking?
No, I think I'm always under the direction of the bigger, better man. And Canelo's the bigger guy in this fight. And Crawford is my guy. He's just 2 weight classes and everything else. It's going to be tough. But if anybody can bring some energy to this, it'll be Crawford.
Does Canelo bringing Boots into camp, does that lower Crawford's chances to you?
It doesn't help. I'll tell you that much. It's a very, very astute move to bring someone who switches from lefty to righty. Big, strong young man, very fast, capable punching power. It's going to be a help. It'll be a help for him.
Mike Perry has expressed admiration for Terence Crawford's talent, but ultimately side with Canelo, pointing to the unstoppable force of Mexican power. His remark highlights the cultural pride and national identity Canelo carries into the ring, representing the expectations of an entire nation. Perry also referenced Crawford's lighthearted interaction with Turki Aluli, adding humor and personality to the buildup. Moments like these show how every detail in the lead-up becomes part of the larger story surrounding the fight.
I'm going with the Mexican power. I think, I know Terence is tough, you know. He's an incredible fighter, but I'm going to go with Canelo because he didn't hold Turki's hand.
Not all experts believe sparring with Jaron Ennis is the perfect way to prepare Canelo for Crawford. Some argue that Crawford's uniqueness simply can't be replicated, no matter the sparring partner. They point out that Crawford has assembled some of the best minds and talents in his own camp, giving him elite-level insights. In their view, his preparation may even be superior, as it's built on versatility rather than imitation. While Canelo sharpens himself against someone similar to Crawford, the American champion is drawing strategies from multiple brilliant sources. This contrast in preparation styles underscores the complexity of the fight. It's not just a battle in the ring, but a battle of ideas, strategies, and the environments that shape each fighter's readiness.
Boots Ennis don't talk about nobody. He stayed on himself. He stayed in Philly. Yeah, we as supporters and them people as fans, I'm nobody's fan, feel that he may have ducked Virgil Ortiz or Virgil Ortiz ducked him. But hey, man, Jerron Boots Ennis don't even give off that type of energy to be out there and to be out there wilding. The man trying to fight Canelo. What's wrong with him getting work with Canelo, bro? That's priceless work. That is sparring. Terence Bud Crawford, the man got Andre Ward. Terence Bud Crawford, the man got Shakur Stevenson. Terence Bud Crawford, the man got Lester Martinez. The man got mad people up there in camp, bro. Mad people in camp. Let that man Canelo get his sparring partners. Y'all got to be up over there scared. Y'all got to be up over there musty. To culture by wearing a Gucci belt. He sold out to culture by wearing a Louis Vuitton belt. We got to stop that. We got to stop. Niggas pick and choose when they want to be Malcolm X. Niggas pick and choose when they want to be Huey P. Newton. Niggas be straight up there, up in the white club, looking for the girl with no ribbon. Yeah, her right there. She don't dance good enough. I think I get stopped, bro. Y'all got to stop, bro.